Welcome to Flats Nation Soundbites, where we share tips, tricks, and product information to help you better enjoy our sport and lifestyle. And a big shout out to Brother Dave Fader for the awesome music. You can check out more of Dave's phenomenal work on davidfader.com. This is your host, Dave Lusher, and welcome back to Flats Nation Soundbites. In this volume, we feature an excerpt from our show with outdoor writer Keith Lusher, sharing a few tips on how to take better photos, even if they're just for personal use. What about the person who's looking to improve their quality of the photography and video that they're using to grab, for their social media or just for their Facebook page or whatever the case may be? What do you recommend to them as a beginner that they should try working with first to learn how to do that? Are you
it's definitely
an iPhone?
Yeah, it's definitely iPhone. I mean, that's where you're going to start. That's what you have already. Start with that, and then let the problem present itself, and then you can do your research into work to how to fix that, and then move into a base camera. But yeah, absolutely iPhone. I mean, it takes wonderful pictures. And then move on from there. GoPro does good too, and that's very affordable.
Now, which model on GoPro are you using for the majority of your work?
I have a 9, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never really got caught up. When I get a new GoPro, when I lose my old GoPro, that's when I get a new GoPro.
Works for me.
So
yeah, you can chase technology
through the point. Actually.
I agree. You can chase after technology at the point where you just go broke.
Yeah. My strength is definitely artistic visualization.
Exactly.
I mean, I that's just what I like. Now, whatever tool I need to get that, I'll grab. I have, not between the iPhone, the GoPro, and the Canon, I'll do what I need to do to get the shot. But I think that's my strength. It's just visualizing the scene and what I want to happen in the scene, what I want to capture.
Exactly. I say this a lot. It's not the gear. It's the eye that composes the shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Visualization, man. I'll tell you. And it's not only in writing and photography. It's just life. If you can visualize the end product and work your way forward to get there, it's just so much quicker and easier.
Do you have a set format, Keith, that you use when you're looking to do, let's say, an ad or an article for, let's say, a lure company? Do you have, I'm going to take pictures of the product here, I'm going to take pictures of the product there. How do you formulate your base workflow?
That's tough because that's brand new as far as taking lure-specific photos, and placing ads over them. I just started working with Collier Thornton with Flash and Assassin. So that's a brand new world for me. Everything, I'll use the Canon, I'll use the iPhone, and whatever gives me the best shot. At the end of the day, I'll take the absolute best shot, and then I'll go into either pick font or, another program to put some text over it and dress it up. But, edit it, bring it home, edit it, and get it done. But that's definitely a fun world that I'm getting into as far as taking pictures of the lures.
So do you write the storyline ahead of time as to what you're looking to accomplish, to give yourself a mental checklist that I want to do X, Y, and Z?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I will forget it when I get out there. I have a sheet of paper that's laminated that I bring out there. That forces me to hit all the different scenarios that I want to get. Rip and grin. I do a scene where I lay the fish on the bow. I get very close to the fish, and then I'll have the angler in the background run quickly towards it with his hand out. That always generates a great photo. Right. If anybody wants to try that, outdoor writers, try that. Just put a fish on the bow like it was just flipped onto the bow, and then run straight at it with your hand out. And I like to put them under pressure and give them a time limit. Like, you try to grab this fish in 2 seconds, and I'll count it down to where they really have to hustle. And you would be surprised the magic that happens with action. I mean, I love action.
Right.
Action is just...
well, that is a strong suit of your photography. That's what I love about it.
Thank you.
It's a freeze frame of being there at that time, where that water, the fish is coming out of the water, or the angler is grabbing it.
Uh-huh.
It's places where you would rather be. It's that scenario. You're setting that story, as I like to say. Yeah.
And it's at angles that you don't see hardly at all.
No,
not
at all.
I've been experimenting with the last trip I went on. My instincts said to stop before I got to the lilies, turn around and take the picture of the angler. And I was like, wait, let me push past these lilies. That way the lilies are in the foreground, then the bass is middle, and then the angler in the back. And man, it all comes together. Just the depth that presents. So I'm just learning, just trying different stuff and then learning and hopefully progressing every day and moving forward and getting better.
This is true. Any other tips or tricks, photography-wise, you would like to share with our listeners to help them improve the quality of their output?
Visualization, Dave. I mean,
yes, very much so.
Just visualize instead of waiting for a picture to happen. That's just a horrible feeling for me. Visualize what you want in that magazine. Specifically, I shoot my magazine. The writing forces my photography. I never was a photographer. It's the writing that forces me to get out there and do it, and then everything else goes from there. I mean, the lore part, adding text over lore and putting the ads, and then using some for my website, for my newspaper article, but just getting out there and visualizing what the scene is. Went out on Lake Bourne and did an article for, fishing the oil rigs. And the guy holds up a fish and he's, all right, take some pictures. And he's standing there and the background is just nothing but water. And the oil rig's in the back of us. And like, no, turn around, get right by the oil rig. The oil rig's towering above the guy holding the fish. And that's just little things like that you got to remember. You're writing an article about an oil rig, you have to incorporate that oil rig. Just try to incorporate everything in. I just wrote an article for Louisiana Sportsman about sheepshead minnows, using sheepshead minnows for bait. So I went set the minnow trap, caught about 20 sheepshead minnows, opened the trap, and they're flipping around on the mud. And I got a close up of them flipping around in the mud, and hopefully they select that for a 2-page opener, because it came out really good. Kind of think outside the box and take what you're writing about and try to take pictures of everything that's involved in that story.
I would agree. And a big shout out to Keith for joining us on that one. We're having discussions on our next show and what topics to cover, which should be another informative one for sure. And make sure you check out our article that goes along with that show. We have even more tips on how to take better pictures, with some just as simple as turning your phone sideways so you grab more of the background. A few steps taken to help frame up those pictures can go a long way in making that content and those memories really pop. And if you haven't heard, we're thrilled to announce some exciting news. Fujifilm has now joined the nation. We are eager to collaborate with them and showcase their products. Our latest article highlights the TSX 1440 binoculars, an innovative tool designed to help you save both fuel and time when scouting for fish or the birds showing you where they are. Even better, Fujifilm is now offering refurbished units for sale while supplies last, which is a great chance to gear up for the season ahead. Don't miss this opportunity to explore these cutting-edge binoculars and their features, with this savings now available by going the refurbished product route. Check out our article for all the details, and stay tuned as we continue to spotlight more awesome Fujifilm products, technology, and tips to enhance your social media, personal, and professional pursuits. Lots of other great educational content on Flats Nation, and don't forget to check out our store. We have a wide range of gear and merch for both on and off the water now. Ideal gifts for the flats and inshore fishing enthusiasts in your life, and you get to represent the nation at the same time. We hope you enjoyed our show today. Flats Nation is your answer for reviewing your products and services related to flats and inshore fishing, but that's not all. Flats Nation is the perfect place to advertise your products or services that connect to our passion. Do you have a product for a tow vehicle? How about a new lure? Want to advertise your guide service? Call us at 941-271-5055 or email us at info@flatsnation.com and let us get the desired exposure. And now, here's the rest of Dave's awesome tune to run the skiff back home with. Tight lines and God bless.